The afternoon sun filtered through the hospital blinds, casting gentle shadows across the pediatric ward. Marcus Henderson sat in the uncomfortable chair beside his daughter's bed, his expensive suit wrinkled from 3 days of vigil. As CEO of Henderson Technologies, he was used to controlling every situation, solving every problem with determination and resources. But here, watching his 8-year-old daughter Emma sleep in the hospital bed, he felt utterly powerless. Emma had been in this strange, deep sleep for 72 hours now. The doctors called it a rare neurological response to her recent illness, not quite a coma, but something deeper than normal sleep. Her vitals were stable, her brain activity normal, yet she wouldn't wake up. The medical team had run every test, tried every standard protocol, but Emma remained locked in her peaceful slumber. Marcus ran his hands through his dark hair, exhaustion weighing heavily on his shoulders. His phone buzzed constantly with work emergencies, but nothing seemed to matter except the steady rise and fall of his daughter's chest. Emma was all he had left since his wife Sarah had passed away 2 years ago. The thought of losing her to "What's unbearable, Mr. Henderson?" A soft voice interrupted his thoughts. He looked up to see a young nurse standing in the doorway. She appeared to be in her mid-20s with platinum blonde hair pulled back in a neat bun and kind blue eyes that seemed to hold an unusual depth. Her name tag read Lily Chen, and unlike the other medical staff who moved with clinical efficiency, she carried herself with a gentle, almost ethereal presence. "I'm Nurse Chen," she said, stepping into the room with quiet grace. "I've been assigned to Emma's evening shift." Marcus nodded politely, though his attention remained focused on his daughter. He'd met so many medical professionals over the past few days that their faces had begun to blur together. Lily moved to Emma's bedside, checking the monitors with practiced ease. But then she did something unexpected. She placed her hand gently on Emma's forehead and closed her eyes for a moment, as if listening to something only she could hear. "She's dreaming," Lily said softly, opening her eyes very deeply. Sometimes children get lost in their dream worlds, especially when they're trying to process difficult emotions. Marcus looked up sharply. "The doctors said it's neurological. A physical response to her illness." "It can be both," Lily replied, her voice barely above a whisper. She pulled up a chair beside Marcus, her movements deliberate and calming. "Mr. Henderson, may I ask you something? Has Emma been struggling with anything lately beyond her illness?" The question caught Marcus off guard. He was used to discussing business metrics and strategic plans, not his daughter's emotional state. "She's been asking about her mother more often, wondering why Sarah had to die, why it's just the two of us now." Lily nodded knowingly. Children sometimes retreat into sleep when the waking world feels too complicated or painful. Their minds create safe spaces where they can process grief at their own pace. But the medical tests can show that her body is healthy while her spirit needs healing, Lily finished gently. "Mr. Henderson, I've worked with many children who've experienced profound loss. Sometimes conventional medicine addresses the symptoms, but not the root cause." Marcus studied the young nurse's face. There was something different about her, something that made him want to trust her despite his rational mind's protests. "What are you suggesting?" Lily leaned forward, her voice dropping to barely audible levels. "I can wake your daughter, not through medication or procedures, but by helping her find her way back from wherever she's hiding in her dreams." That's not medically possible," Marcus said, though his voice lacked conviction. "Healing isn't always about what's medically possible," Lily replied. "Sometimes it's about what the heart needs. Your daughter isn't just sleeping, Mr. Henderson. She's waiting. Waiting for what? For someone to show her that it's safe to come back, that grief doesn't have to be faced alone." Marcus felt his chest tighten. Over the past 2 years, he'd thrown himself into work, trying to provide for Emma while wrestling with his own overwhelming sadness. He'd given her everything money could buy, but perhaps not what she needed most: the space to grieve together, to talk about the mother they both missed desperately. "How?" he asked simply. Lily smiled, the first genuine smile he'd seen from any medical professional since arriving. "By talking to her, by telling her about her mother, sharing memories, letting her know that missing someone doesn't mean you have to hide from life." She stood and moved to Emma's other side, taking the child's small hand in hers. "Emma," she said softly, "your daddy's here. He has some beautiful stories about your mama that I think you'd love to hear." Marcus felt tears stinging his eyes. When was the last time he'd shared memories of Sarah with Emma? When had he stopped talking about the woman who'd brought so much joy to their lives? "Tell her about the time your wife taught her to bake cookies," Lily encouraged gently. Marcus cleared his throat, his voice rough with emotion. "Emma, sweetheart, do you remember when Mama taught you to make chocolate chip cookies? You were only 6 and you got flour everywhere. Mama laughed so hard she cried, and then she helped you clean up the kitchen while the cookies baked." As he spoke, Marcus noticed Emma's breathing seemed to deepen slightly, as if she were listening. "Tell her more," Lily whispered. For the next hour, Marcus shared story after story. He told Emma about her mother's terrible singing voice that somehow made every lullaby beautiful. He spoke about Sarah's garden, where she'd taught Emma to plant sunflowers. He described the way Sarah would dance in the kitchen while making breakfast, spinning Emma around until they were both dizzy with laughter. With each memory, Emma seemed to stir slightly, her eyelids fluttering almost imperceptibly. "Now tell her it's okay to miss Mama," Lily said softly. "Tell her that missing someone means you love them, and that love doesn't go away even when people do." "Emma, baby," Marcus whispered, taking her hand. "I miss Mama too, every single day, and that's okay. Missing her means we loved her so much that part of our hearts will always belong to her. But that doesn't mean we can't keep living, keep making new memories while we treasure the old ones." Emma's eyelids fluttered more noticeably now. "Tell her you'll grieve together," Lily prompted. "That she doesn't have to carry sadness alone. We'll remember Mama together, sweetheart. We'll cry when we need to, and laugh when we remember the funny things she did. You don't have to be strong all by yourself. Daddy's here, and we'll figure this out together." Emma's eyes slowly opened, focusing first on the ceiling, then moving to find her father's face. "Daddy," she whispered. Marcus felt his heart leap. "I'm here, baby, I'm right here." Emma turned her head slightly and saw Lily standing beside the bed. "Who's the pretty nurse?" "I'm Lily," the young woman said with a warm smile. "I've been taking care of you while you were sleeping. I had the most wonderful dream about Mama," Emma said softly. "She told me it was time to come back and help Daddy not be so sad all the time." Marcus looked up at Lily with wonder and gratitude, but she was already moving toward the door. "Thank you," he called after her. Lily turned back with that same ethereal smile. "Sometimes all we need is permission to feel everything, the sadness, the love, the hope. Your daughter just needed to know she wasn't alone in missing her mother." As Lily disappeared into the hallway, Marcus held Emma close, finally understanding that healing meant facing grief together, not hiding from it. In the gentle afternoon light, father and daughter began the real work of remembering, mourning, and moving forward together. Outside in the hallway, Lily Chen smiled to herself, knowing that some kinds of healing happened not through medicine or procedures, but through the simple act of love, acknowledging loss, and choosing to continue anyway.